Okay, here's inside the Bonnie cart where all the magic happens. Some people are curious. But this is the water meter video. Bonnie cart always makes a cameo. The ground is sunken. This is the parkway. This is beyond the scope of this inspection, but the parkway is sunken around the water meter, so the curb might create a trip hazard. So if you have people visiting or whatever, just kind of be aware of that. This is the water meter. It's an electronic water meter. And being electronic, that tells us, there's really not a good way to inspect that. Me as a home inspector, I can just say I looked at it. If it was analog, I could tell you a little more about it. But it is what it is. Now this is the main water shutoff valve to the water meter. And that little arrow is pointing towards the water meter. That means the water's on. You turn that arrow around backwards so that those little holes line up, and then that'll turn the water off to the house. But you shouldn't have to do that. It takes a special tool, and that's not your valve. The meter's in the parkway. It's not your water meter either. Alright. Now we're supposed to check the water pressure coming to the house. We're coming up to the front of the house. On the east side, the house faces north. On the east side here, we have and they kind of moved it around. So this water hose has a vacuum breaker on it. But that's the water hose. But the faucet to the house, the exterior bib faucet, does not have a vacuum breaker. We do in the back, but we don't on the back. We don't on the front and the sides. We are looking for between 70 would be about ideal. We're looking for between 40 and 80 psi. Well, that guy just keeps turning, doesn't he? Between 40 and 80. And we got about 60 psi. Now we're supposed to let that sit for a little bit, and so we will. And come back. So we got good water pressure. Can't tell you much about the water meter. When it comes time to turn off the water to the house, again on the east side of the front porch, these are the main shutoff valves to the house. They're buried and the handles are rusty. Okay, if you use those, they're probably going to break on you. And then you're going to go back out to the meter to that valve that I showed you. In the meantime, this box should have been excavated and lined with gravel to keep dirt from coming in and filling up around there. You can't get your hands around it. You cannot service those valves without excavation. I'm just saying. Now on the drain to the house, the main drains, we have a double clean out over here. It looks like it's cast iron. So at least part of this plumbing system, some of it underneath the sinks may not be cast iron. We'll see. I haven't seen that yet. But if you got a cast iron system, it lasts about 50 years. This house was built in 1970 something. Alright. It'd be prudent to have this sewer system checked out farther by a plumber that specializes in that. And there's a couple ways. There's the hydrostatic, and I've seen sewer cameras find problems with drain systems that the hydrostatic did not. And I can imagine that's probably, converse, that it's possible that a hydrostatic might offer you some information that a sewer camera might not. And I know that's two tests. I know neither one of them is inexpensive. I know that. But it's the sewer pipes. Otherwise you're tunneling. This is a slab foundation, and you're tunneling underneath the house to get things straightened up. You're tunneling across your yard to get things straightened out. So it's something to take into consideration. Now, again, on the east side of the porch, this is your lawn sprinkler system. You have 3 zones. You got manual control handles. Okay, you do not have a timer. It will not work while you're out of town. These should be At one time, these were against code in this part of the state, but now they're, I mean, I get it, they're common everywhere else. Everywhere else, just about, I think. But you just have, like, sometimes they have faux rocks or something, but they should be insulated, which will make it conducive to wood-destroying insects, like the wood mulch. I mean, you put something that hides all that water and holds it, and, you know, not the most ideal thing, but also know that all these pipes are exposed to freezing. All these pipes are exposed to freezing. You do not have a weather sensor. You do not have a control timer. So they're just manual operations. And that probably explains why we have soaker hoses. I've seen them around the front and the back.